Does Punia owe Zain $25K after the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club event? Let's stop stalling and start talking wrestling. What's going on, wrestling fans? My name's Josiah, and welcome to the Fanco Wrestling YouTube channel, where we love to talk about news and everything going on in the world of wrestling. And the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club event number 4 happened on Rockfin, and wow, what an event. I mean, there were 28 matches. 28 matches. Now, this comes actually on a night when there were many matches going on. Pittsburgh Wrestling Club actually put on their own event. There were a couple wrestle-offs going on the same night. I mean, what a crazy night for wrestling fans. But I'm going to talk about the crazy matches that happened at the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club event, such as Punia and Zain. Zain stuck it to Punia, who's the number 2 ranked guy in the entire world. And we'll get to that in just a second. First, we have to talk about some of these other insane matches. I'm not going through every single match because there were, in my opinion, there were just too many matches. 28 matches is just a little bit overdue, or overkill. A little bit overkill, Kale. A little bit overkill. But it was fun, and it was a good experience for both teams. The NC State Wrestling Club, the Wolfpack Wrestling Club, and the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club went at it. The Nittany Lion Wrestling Club hosted the Wolfpack Wrestling Club in State College, and it was a fun event. But some of the matches I want to highlight first are Michael Beard. He had a nice match against Renan where he beat him 10-6. It's interesting to see where these Penn State freshmen kind of come in and how they're going to do. They've been doing well in freestyle, and a lot of these Penn State wrestlers have had freestyle success in their careers. So somebody like Beard, who can beat a guy who's been wrestling in college for a couple years in Renan, just shows that he can compete with these guys. Kyle Snyder came out. It was great to see him competing again, since the last time we saw him wrestling was just a little bit ago. I believe the last time he wrestled, he was injured, which was unfortunate, or he got injured. But this time he came out strong. He teched Ty Walls 10-0. And then, speaking of another Penn State freshman, Carter Starachi was able to tech Daniel Bullard 13-2. So the Penn State freshmen are some people to be looking out for. There was also a fun event with the Grinch taking on Santa Claus. This was the holiday special. Kale always throws in something fun here. You know, he's the very quiet guy. You don't see a lot from him, but he throws some shade on Twitter. He throws some fun stuff going on Twitter, and he actually really does know how to market these type of events. The next match, I mean, these next 4 matches, the main card, so there was the undercard and then the main card, and the main card was unbelievable. I kind of had the undercard just playing on my TV, just kind of watching it a little bit while I was working, but the main card, I mean, I just couldn't take my eyes off the TV. It was unbelievable. And the first big match was Tariq Wilson and Nick Lee. Unreal. This may have been one of the best matches of the entire night. The score ended up 14-10, where Nick Lee beat Tariq Wilson. But oh my goodness, Tariq Wilson came out strong. He came out firing. And these two just kept raising the bar on each other. Tariq Wilson, like I said, he came out strong, got a takedown right away. These two ended up splitting back and forth takedowns. So look, these two were just going at it, and it was so exciting to see these two wrestle. I mean, both of these guys are some of my favorite guys actually in college wrestling to watch. So watching them compete in freestyle was exciting. So Nick Lee was able to then get to a takedown and a leg lace. He hit that actually a couple times in the match. But with these two, they just kept raising the bar on each other. Tariq came out firing, and he came out getting those takedowns, and Nick Lee knew that that Tariq was there. He was there to wrestle. And so he raised the bar a little bit. And then once Tariq was able to fill that up a little bit, he raised the bar even higher. And these two just kept going at it. It was 8-4 at the break when these two came into the second period, and Tariq was able to score again, or tried to be able to score again, but Nick Lee was just too much for him, getting a couple of takedowns in a leg lace. Tariq fought until the end, though, was able to get a takedown to end the match with a 14-10 score. Wow. Unbelievable match. One of my favorite ones of the night for sure. And the other great match here was Hailey versus Bergy. So Brady Bergy took on Hayden Hailey, who was the clear favorite, but with Brady Bergy being kind of out last season, I was interested to see how he was going to do. Could he compete against Hailey? And he did in the first period. Like before the break, I believe it was 2-0 at the break whenever Hailey was able to get a takedown in the first, and he was able to get to that score, but Bergy was just not able to capitalize on really anything. He was going after Hayden, but just wasn't able to get to really any of his shots. And to be said, Hayden Hailey is just an has some amazing defense, and really he's one of the best, in college wrestling at 157 pounds. So seeing him wrestle against Bergy was a fun match, but ultimately, Hailey was able to get a couple takedowns and beat him 5-0. And that brought us to the co-main event, which is Rome Bravo Young and Sterling. So Sterling is an MMA guy, and Rome Bravo Young, you kind of saw there were some Twitter things going on with these guys. They were kind of hyping up this match. It was a mix between freestyle, the first two periods, and then they did some grappling in the third period. So it was kind of like a mix of events, which is kind of cool. It's something different that I don't know. I like to see. I'll be honest, like full disclosure, I'm not a crazy like grappling guy. I don't know a whole lot about it, but it was fun to watch. It's different. So Rome Bravo Young won in freestyle, but Sterling brought something to him. I believe he hit it like a lat drop or something on Rome Bravo Young. He was trying to hit some crazy stuff on RBY, but RBY was just, man, I just love watching his feet move because he's so darn quick. And Rome Bravo Young was ultimately able to get the better of Sterling in the freestyle match with a couple takedowns and push-outs. But Sterling led a couple times, which really you got to give some testament to him coming out here as with a lot of recent wrestling, and to be able to wrestle RBY within like a month's notice was great. And that's what the announcers were talking about, and David Taylor, a testament to him. He's a great announcer. I love listening to him announce these matches and commentate. But anyways, we get to the third period, which is the grappling period, and Sterling was able to submit. He won by submission in the third period. So he won the grappling portion and RBY won the freestyle portion, which brings us to the main event, Zain and Punia. Holy cow. Now, Punia is coming off of a solid weekend when he won Flo's 8-man bracket. He took home $25,000, beating James Green in the finals, and which was a phenomenal match, by the way. But Zain, Punia is number 2 guy in the world right now. Just has been competing and doing a great job. I mean, he's the guy kind of to beat, and Zain wanted to go up against him. Zain recently had a loss to him. I guess not that recently. Back in January, he lost to him 5-4. So Zain wanted to go back up against him to see how he could do. And I think I've always said this. Zain may not always be able to beat that guy the first time around, I guess, especially in freestyle. You kind of saw it happen with Yanni, but he just had such a great game plan. He's so good at studying and what he needs to do and adapting his style of wrestling, and that's what you saw a lot of this match. So right off the bat, Zain gets off to a strong start with a takedown. With spin behind, and he was able to get that within the first minute, where he came out strong. And Zayn's just been looking strong over the last few months. He's just looking just jacked, ripped, and just driving through people. So these two guys are filling each other out. Retherford and Punia are just kind of filling each other out. It's a real high-paced match between these two, and real exciting to watch. Zayn shot in at the end of the first period, but was unable to get anything. He was just kind of hanging on that low single. It was 2-0 at the break as we headed into or moved into the second period, and this was, this is big. So Zayn is in on it, gets in. These two are still kind of filling each other out, but Zayn's finally able to get to some attacks. He gets in on a beautiful double. He gets in on a beautiful shot and just keeps driving through Punia, able to get him down, and went straight to a leg lace. And and that was, I mean, I don't want to say that was it, but it was 6-0 at that point. And Punia, throughout the rest of the match, was not able to get to anything, was not able to score on Zain. And so Zain was able to get vengeance in a 6-0 final. This was such a fun match to watch, and it really shows that Zain is making strides. Zain is going to be the guy to beat at 65 kilos on the Olympic team, or on the upcoming Olympic team trials in 2021. And everybody else at 65 kilos, I mean, there's going to be some competition, but Zain has really shown that he is the guy to beat. Let me know, what did you think of the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club event? The next one is coming up in January. The Nittany Lion Wrestling Club event number 5 coming up in January. What was your favorite bout of the event? And did you think 28 matches was too many? Please let me know, and I will talk to you soon.